Hello, all. It is Lauren Doors with the
Hello.
USS Susquehannock, and you might hear a little bit of noise behind us this time. We didn't get quite the room set up that we were expecting,
Nope.
and um, um, not actually, I mean, not their fault. It's just, we just were used to it. But anyway, that's beside the point. Because we have limited power because we don't have a plug-in place here.
Yeah.
So we better get the party started. Um, so um, today I wanted to talk a little bit about some news on some shows, and one of them is a show that I really loved, called Orphan Black. Um, it was, I think, on AMC back in the day. And it kind of centered around like these, see, I hate to even say it because when you say clones, it sounds kind of stupid, but it was a, it was, it was kind of about these, the one character, Sarah Manning, was a British woman who happens to stumble on this conspiracy involving her and a group of women who are clones. And after the suicide of one of them, Sarah starts to look into this more, and she kind of comes together with some of the clones, and they call themselves, sisters, because they they all were like, in adoptive families, didn't have any idea that there was more than one of them. They all had careers, some had families and stuff. And Tatiana Maslany played every one of the clones. Now there were kind of like five main ones, but I think in the time that this went on, she wound up playing like up to like 15. And the thing is, she was so good that you didn't look at it and say, there's Tatiana Maslany playing.
Right.
You believed it was a separate character. I mean, she was really good. And some of you might know her. One of the jobs she got after the show, I think the most recent one that she had was playing She-Hulk.
Yeah, that was a good
Um,
one.
which was a pretty decent show. Wasn't anywhere as good as Orphan Black in my opinion, but but I'm a big fan. But anyway, they they're coming out with this new show. It's going to be Orphan Black Echoes, and it's going to star Kristen Ritter, which many of you will know from playing Jessica Jones. Um, and it's not going to actually be, it's not actually going to be a sequel or a reboot or anything like that. It's almost like another story. They're actually going to go forward in time. It's set in 2052, and Kristen Ritter plays Lucy, and she's going to be at the center of another sort of conundrum with this whole, cloning thing and stuff. So it's kind of going to be a a totally different show within the, I guess, the bigger Orphan Black, world. Yeah, yeah. And so it's going to be on AMC Plus is what they're saying right now, which could be an issue because damn it, I'm not taking out yet another.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I don't know, maybe if they have a free trial, I could like binge it,
Yeah,
for
there
a
you
month
go.
or something. Um, but it'll probably have that same sort of mystery that Orphan Black did, because it just, Orphan Black over its seasons, and I forget how many seasons it had. I think maybe four. This greater mystery, came, you watched as these women found out, more and more about where they came from. So I'm kind of excited about that. The other thing I wanted to mention was Resident Alien, which is another Another big, favorite of mine.
Oh, yeah.
And they just finished season 3 a few months ago on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I was like, please get to season 4, please get to season 4. Because with Sci-Fi Channel, you never know.
Yeah.
Because there was a big cliffhanger, and they like to end
Yep.
the show altogether on a cliffhanger. So
Yeah.
anyway, the one thing though is they're going to be moving to the USA Network, which is NBC owns USA, Bravo, Sci-Fi, and all. So it's essentially the same family, but it's not the it's not going to be the exact same. So if you have cable, you're going to be watching it on USA. If you're like me, you're going to be watching it on Peacock. So now they put the first 3 seasons on Netflix, and that actually gave it a big boost. And
Oh,
they said
yeah.
that's one of the reasons why they're going to one of the reasons why they're moving it to USA is they feel like maybe they could get a wider audience, so that people didn't just go, oh, that's on the Sci-Fi Channel. They
Yeah.
might check it out. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it did okay on Sci-Fi,
Yeah, it
but
was an excellent show. It was hilarious. And not just anybody can play that alien.
no, and that's just it. Alan Tudyk is kind of like sci-fi royalty,
Yeah.
being from Firefly and a ton of things that he did. So so that's exciting. The next thing, and Doris and I kind of talked about this a little bit already when we were together yesterday, but
Spaceballs too.
yeah. Now I will admit, there's not like a ton of information about this.
Yeah, but I think I actually put it on our group site, and I was excited about it because I love Mel Brooks. But then Laura and I got to talking, and she made some good points.
Yeah, we I like Mike. Well, first of all, it's been 37 years since
Yeah.
the original one, and we've got some people who aren't around anymore, like John Candy.
I know.
And
Smog.
yeah, and Rick Moranis, he stopped acting and stuff for the most part, but two of my concerns was, one, like, it says that Mel Brooks is going to produce this, but Mel Brooks is almost 100 years old.
Yeah,
And literally, yeah. And I don't know at this point, like, how much day to day he'll be there. I mean, is it just producing in the way that they gave Gene Roddenberry a production thing, like at some point during,
Yeah.
the next generation? It's like, I just wonder how involved he'll be, because a couple years ago they put out History of the World Part 2. And in my opinion, it was awful. It was just a bunch of like kind of well-known guest stars doing kind of crappy comedy. It just,
That stupid juvenile comedy
Yeah,
as opposed to what, we were talking about this, Mel Brooks's comedy. Yes, he made fun of everybody, but he literally made fun of everybody, including himself. And it was there was a kind of sweetness, or, wasn't vicious or anything to anybody. And it wasn't like attacking any specific group. Well, it wasn't, you didn't feel like if he was making fun of a group that he was really like attacking, you know what I mean?
yeah,
In the manner that some of the clips of this of the history of the world seemed to be.
yeah. So that was one of the concerns I had with Spaceballs, is would it be,
Yeah, a disappointment.
kind of like that. The other is that Josh Gad is attached to it. Now, to me, Josh was great. Voicing Olaf.
Yeah.
But I don't find him a very compelling actor.
No.
He's kind of, I don't know, like, I just, so I'm wondering like what part would he play?
Yeah.
And although people surprise me, okay, people can surprise me, but I'm kind of like, what character is he going to play? And
Yeah.
will, you know, is it going to, is going to play it well? I don't know. So I
Yeah.
guess we'll see, because from what I looked up, it's kind of still in the planning stages. Um, and they also did not, I don't think they've fully decided yet whether we're looking at a movie or we're looking at a
TV.
streaming movie
Yeah.
or we're looking at, a TV
Yeah.
type thing like they did with History of the World Part Two. Where it was, like a little short series and
Yeah.
stuff. So, and who knows, it may never come to fruition, but there's definitely more talk about it now. Like they've talked about this in the past, like, but it was very theoretical. Now there are people attached to it and stuff and all,
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens. So that was all that I specifically had as far as catching up on that kind of stuff. Um, so I know Doris has a couple of things. to talk about.
Literally just a couple of things. I'm sorry, guys. It's summer. We're all in summer mode.
Yeah, well, and our minds are all melted from the, 4,000-degree
Good
heat.
Lord. When did we move to? I don't know.
The surface of the sun.
Yeah, I know. Um, but anyway, I have been very much looking forward to the next season of Strange New Worlds. In fact, one time we turned on the TV and Strange New Worlds was up at the top of the screen. I'm like, oh, did they put out the next season? Well, I was slightly off because it looks like it's not going to be until the first part of 2025.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I thought I had read that they were done filming.
Yeah.
Not that that means, because they've got to have all the post-production and all that stuff.
They're
but
killing
wow.
us. Yeah, and I guess there is supposed to be a season 4 coming, and that will be sometime in 2026. So no Strange New Worlds in the near future, unfortunately.
We were talking about this yesterday. Sometimes these really big gaps in seasons of these shows, you kind of forget, like, I mean, I know you can rewatch them, but you
Yeah.
kind of like, it's like, come on, at least give us a yearly type.
Yeah, it used to be that you'd go from fall to spring, then they were off during the summer, then the next fall you'd start. Because the problem is you forget what happened. You're like, what was that in regards to?
Right.
I was using the example. She got me onto a show called The Marvelous Miss Maisel, and I loved that show. I mean, it was really good. But then they had this huge. I think now part of it was probably because of COVID, but I think it was a couple of year gap. By the time I started watching the next season, I was totally confused.
Oh yeah.
I'd have
Oh,
to go
yeah.
back and watch the whole thing. So, but at least with Strange New Worlds, it's episodic TV and it's not the storyline thing.
Well, yeah, that's at
so-
least something. Yeah,
But
but
I'm
that's
still
a shame.
disappointed.
Well, now, and meanwhile, and I don't know, you might have this as part of what you were going to say, but we got the news about the Starfleet Academy show.
Yeah.
They brought Holly Hunter in and oh, who's the guy? He played John Adams.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Paul
Paul
Giamatti.
Giamatti. I think that's what
Yeah.
it is.
So that's it's kind of a little different though than what they've done with Star Trek in the past, because
He's good though. I
oh,
like
he
him.
is. He's really good. I love that. What was it? The Holdover?
Yes, that was an awesome, not
Amazing.
sci-fi,
No,
but an
no,
amazing
but it
movie.
was a wonderful story.
Everything he's been in that I have seen him in, I have loved.
He's
so.
a really good actor. It's just, but it is different. Usually Star Trek, does not necessarily use super well-known
No.
actors, and stuff like, Certainly not people, with those kinds of
Right.
names who have won, Oscars and, different things like that and stuff. Not that I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying it is, it is different from what they've done
Yeah.
before. And I know they said it's supposed to be set in like the Discovery timeline when
Oh,
they
goodness.
jumped ahead or something. At least that's the scuttlebutt right now. And stuff.
I kind of would rather them do it. At least just, I think somebody needs to do something right after, Next Generation. Do a series, or DS9 or that era. What happens next? Because
Yeah,
they've been doing a lot of going backwards and then they go way in the future. And I loved Discovery for the first couple seasons, but once they did that, I totally was lost and confused. And,
yeah.
so I hope that they, it's more episodic and easier to follow than what that third season of Discovery was.
Yeah, well, and I never cared for Discovery, so
Yeah.
if it's in, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will certainly give it a try.
Oh, yeah.
If it comes to fruition, and stuff. And I know they're still supposed to be doing that Michelle Yeoh one
Yeah.
with, what is it, Section 31 or something like that?
I hope that they don't handle it the same way that they did Discovery with the episode, with the storyline, but I do like Michelle Yeoh, so the thought of her being at the center of a series, I'm
She-
gonna give it a try at least.
She's an extraordinary actress because she can play like when she in that Everything Everywhere All at Once or whatever.
Yeah,
Like she played kind of a mousy, like, regular lady, older lady and stuff like that. And yet she can play this kick-ass,
Yes.
she's an amazing actress. So
she is. She made me want to watch Discovery more, but then I don't know that she was on it a whole lot once it
No.
got to that season.
Yeah. And they did that with her in also in there was it was an Agatha Christie thing.
Yes, I saw that movie.
Yes, I
I
forget.
cannot remember the name, but she was like one of the first people off.
Yeah, she was
You
kinda
know?
like, yeah. So, spoiler alert, but
Sorry,
but
but yeah.
yeah, she I was like, oh well, that, and then she kind of had a really small
I know.
part, but anyway,
Yeah.
Do you have anything
Yes,
else?
I was actually looking up to see, there's a movie and it's sort of been, it's happening, it's not, it's happening, it's not, back and forth. So I thought, I wonder what the status of it was. Well, it says, and I'm gonna read this, as of May 2024, Star Trek 4 does not have a confirmed release date, though it was originally scheduled for release in December 2023. Steve Yockey, who I have no idea, who I guess he's the writer of Flight Attendant, has been hired to write a new draft of the movie, but pilot details are still unknown. It's also unclear how closely the movie will follow the end of Star Trek Beyond. So basically,
It worries me when they are writing and rewriting.
yeah,
And they go through different writers and stuff. It tells you there's not a clear vision.
yeah, because it was supposed to come out in December 2023, and here we are, June of 2024, and apparently it's not even started. So I don't even know if they're gonna have the actors that they had before. Maybe they have to reboot the reboot.
Reboot the reboot.
That's hard to say.
Uh,
So that's the last bit of Star Trek news that I have.
So,
The only other thing I had on, unless you're still
no,
talking
go
about
ahead,
shows,
go ahead.
was that I am a nerd who loves astronomical events. Although this beautiful strawberry moon was out the other night and I didn't take a picture, and by the time I got home, I couldn't get it. So I'm one of these people that either that happens or it's a cloudy day or whatever, but I will still give you what is listed as the upcoming astronomy events. Let's see, we have 6 planets, including Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus. What's the name I get in trouble for saying? Neptune and Saturn form a diagonal line. I'd love to see what that looks like. I don't know a lot of details about that. So, And then Saturday.
Saturday.
You have to excuse us. It's been a long weekend. Saturn, at opposition, I guess is opposite side. I'm of the sun, I'm guessing. And then this one kind of, I was like, what in the heck is this? Moon occults Saturn. There's gonna be like some like, witchcrafty ritual or something. So I looked it up and it said, lunar occultation of Saturn occurs when the moon and Saturn appear to line up perfectly from Earth's perspective, with the moon's orbit passing between Earth and Saturn and blocking it from view. The word occultation comes from the word occult, which means to hide. I didn't know that before, so.
Yes, because there's a medical thing, which I won't say right now because we're in a restaurant.
And that's
Yeah.
Degrossing?
It's kind of, yeah, it's degrossing. Okay, yeah.
We kill us.
Yeah, we make ourselves laugh.
Yeah, so I guess on September 18th, there's gonna be a supermoon. In retrospect, I probably should have looked up all these things to tell you what exactly it is. But I will be looking it up because I'm that kind of person. I'm a nerd and I'm gonna want to have my camera out taking pictures. And then let's see, October 2nd, annular solar eclipse, which sadly we will not see because that is the one that is going to be nice and beautiful in South America. So they can send us pictures. And not that I'm envious at all, but I'm totally envious. Let's see. Of course, it would be this planet again. Uranus at opposition and Jupiter at opposition. I mean, Uranus is in November and Jupiter in opposition's December 7th. So
That's when Jupiter's like, he's oppositional.
that's right. So next time I do this, I will try to look up each one.
I know,
because
we truly were not as prepared this time. We are sorry.
we warned you about that when we started.
Yeah, we
this.
just weren't. We just weren't.
I think you were planning on doing that whole thing, Siskel, the whole thing with the Spaceball, Siskel and Ebert, and then I'm like, yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like, well, because we disagree on so many of these on the shows and stuff. So,
well,
do you agree with me?
Well, we only have a few minutes left before my computer just goes off.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to say we had a great picnic. If you came out to the Susquehannock picnic,
Yes.
We also are going to be coming to, we're gonna all be at shore leave.
So watch out.
Yeah, so watch out, but warning you, we're coming. Some will be there all weekend, some will be like a day or 2 days or something, but we're gonna be there. And in September, we're planning a trip to Otherworld in Philadelphia. So we're hoping to get more information out, about that. And as always, you can come to any of our business meetings, follow us on Facebook. Please subscribe and like on YouTube. We're gonna try to get more stuff up there. Hopefully we'll be able to get some stuff from shore leave that we can put up there too. So, anyway, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say too.
All
Keep
right.
posted. Hopefully at this meeting, we will be discussing what else we're gonna do.
That's right. And I guess we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.